welcome to the next part of my advanced full bullet character matchup guide. Today's video will feature Endeavor. Now for Endeavor, I want to point out that this matchup will change drastically depending on whether you are on PC or console. Normally, matchups don't change too much between PC or console, as they stay rather similar in a one-on-one scenario, with few minor adjustments that could be argued. But Endeavor has essentially no reason to ever turn off aim assist due to the way his alpha works, and as such will likely hit you a lot more on console than he will on PC. Usually it's the opposite, but Endeavor on console is a special case. Now, I will be treating this as if the Endeavor is landing most of their shots, as that's probably what's going to happen, as aim assist Endeavor is, of course, cracked, while on PC, most Endeavors have really cracked aim anyway, so they will probably be hitting most ticks of alpha no matter what system you're playing on. A lot of characters, I also factored in as if they hit all of their shots. However, it's much more reasonable to expect a Deku to miss 1 out of 5 shots than it is for an Endeavor to miss 1 out of 5 ticks of alpha, as aim assist is just that crazy. On PC it might be a little different, but just for PC, keep in mind this matchup will be a little bit easier for you. Now, first thing I would like to mention is that Full Bullet has more mobility than Endeavor. Much more mobility horizontally. This is a huge boost. However, even vertically he has much better mobility than Endeavor, while horizontally he can be about on par with Endeavor, I say. Endeavor can dash forward with his special action in the air. However, this doesn't tend to realistically take him that far before he runs out of charges or wants to do something else anyway. As I will showcase here, his special action is kind of bad and runs out fairly quick, and it puts him in a straight-ish path that makes it very easy for you to land alphas on him. Now, landing alphas on Endeavor will be a little easier than a lot of the rest of the cast due to his big hitbox, and his special action, forcing him to go in a more direct path, definitely makes this even easier. He's like All Might in that sense. Landing alphas on him and keeping him down in one spot will tend to be a very effective way of dealing with the character, as Endeavor doesn't really have the ability to run away from you if your alphas keep knocking him out of his special action. Eventually he will run out of special action and you will just beat him. But even if he is outside of your range, Full Bullet's mobility forward is not so bad anymore. So as long as you can take like a corner a little faster, perhaps by using the vertical mobility to go over a wall, then you could easily keep up with Endeavor. But even if it is just a flat plane like this, using Gamma to go forward and get a line of sight on him is also a prominent way of dealing with the character. It is worth noting, however, that Endeavor specifically makes great use of you using this jump. Due to the way aim assist works, he will often land a full alpha or a beta during this, which you can expect this to be roughly a guard break, potentially more, depending on how the Endeavor combos. So it's important to keep that in mind when facing Endeavor. A lot of Endeavor players don't tend to be very great on console, as a lot of them just play the character because aim assist go burr. But running into that one good Endeavor who punishes you for going for gammas like this can be really scary. So I would highly recommend using natural cover or trying to keep your paths that you use inconsistent. Don't just go straight forward each time. Sometimes you'll want to angle your wall a little upwards, and sometimes you might not even want to jump at all. Sometimes you might want to throw him off by perhaps throwing a wall behind you and keep going, since Endeavor's ability to go through your wall isn't necessarily fantastic. He still has one move that can do it and another move that can sort of do it, but wall is pretty effective on Endeavor, unlike most of the cast. The next thing I would like to mention is that Endeavor has a very great punish game if you miss your beta. Now, it's not fantastic, and as I said, most Endeavors will be using aim assist, so there is a way to get around it. As long as you are not looking straight at the Endeavor, then simply doing beta gamma cancel could very easily get you out of the way of the line of sight of his beta when he throws it, due to aim assist not allowing you to lead your shots. However, if the Endeavor times this well, you will not get out of it anyway. But it's much better to go for beta gamma cancel rather than just sitting there while you wake up from the beta, in order to, because that gives him a much more time to hit the beta or potentially an alpha for a punish. Now, it is worth noting that if you give this character iframes by hitting him with, say, a beta, for example, he can use that wake up invincibility to throw a beta of his own at you. So I would highly suggest keeping that in mind. If you hit him, try to go for like a gamma cancel to either get away from him or try to just be out of line of sight of the beta, as the wake up beta can be very prominent against you if you're not prepared for it. If you hit him with the beta, I suggest either going for a combo of some sort, depending on how you hit the beta, or just doing beta gamma cancel in his direction. Like that. That would keep you safe from the beta and put you in a good spot to come in for a beta from above for huge damage and catch his wake up. Last thing I would like to mention about Endeavor is that his gamma will bypass all walls and obstacles. However, fortunately for you, gamma has a very long cooldown and is very bad on Endeavor. In fact, you can hit him out of it rather easily if he goes for it with just your alpha, and if you see him doing it on another person, punish him for it. Go for an alpha into a beta if you can. That will cause a guard break, and depending on whether if you hit the heal or maximum damage on a beta, potentially even more. It's kind of hard to showcase this in training mode, but just believe me when I say, punish Endeavor when he goes for gamma. If he goes straight for you, just alpha him twice. This will this will knock him out of gamma and cause you to win the trade. If he's aiming it at somebody else, go for an attack with your alpha into an attack with your beta. Because he is stuck in the animation for a long time, you can get this rather easily. Now, if you catch him towards the end of his animation, don't feel bad about going for alpha, as that still does a very solid chunk of damage to the character. It is worth noting that, like every other structure in this game, his gamma will go through Full Bullet's gamma. This is not a fault of Full Bullet's gamma being kind of bad. This is more a fault of, or this is just more of a reasoning that Endeavor does this for all the characters. Every single wall he will go through. That is just a design of the character. Now, I did say earlier that he technically has another move that goes through. However, this one is situational. Say if you are a Full Bullet and you place a wall like this, Endeavor could proceed to throw a beta towards the wall and it would hit you on the other end. However, this requires specific spacing. Another thing he can do is if you decide to stand on the wall, he could throw a beta right beneath it to hit you from on the wall. However, this can be evaded by simply just jumping backwards. It is also worth noting that if Endeavor goes for that beta underneath your wall, you will not be able to jump upwards unless you want to eat the 120 damage from the beta. As if you jump upwards, the huge vertical hitbox will connect and smack you really hard. And if Endeavor knows how to alpha punish from these, you might be eating a lot of damage from that. Overall, I'd say the Endeavor matchup is very volatile and really depends on where it's fought. Certain places like indoors can be very 50-50 and depend a lot on who gets the first hit. A lot of this is due to like the hard knockdown of Endeavor's beta. If he has a high level on it, he can use this beta to cover large portions indoors and cause a hard knockdown on you. And his alpha works great in outside. So Endeavor doesn't really have an area where you want to lure him. Endeavor, instead, you want to abuse his shortcomings, and instead make sure he is not allowed to escape your alpha range, and make sure that you are prepared for a wake-up beta, as beta comes out really quick and does high amounts of damage. Be warned that this matchup, even though I would say it's in favor of Full Bullet, this matchup can still be very volatile, and you have to respect Endeavor's ability to alpha spam you with aim assist, or else you will eat large amounts of damage and potentially even lose the matchup. Basically, just don't let Endeavor catch you off guard, and if he does, abuse his shortcomings to potentially try and crawl back the damage lead from him, and potentially even take the life, as you can run away from Endeavor a lot easier than he can run away from you. Ironically. Full Bullet got bad mobility, guys. Bad mobility. Anyway, I would give a final rating of this matchup about a 60-40 in Full Bullet's favor, as it really depends on levels, whether your teammates are there, and other scenarios like that. But if we're assuming a one-on-one matchup with both characters having equal levels, then Full Bullet will win a vast majority of the time. Not vast majority. He will win a lot of the time. This matchup is still something you have to respect, however, as if you don't, Endeavor can still easily kill you really quickly. There isn't much more to say on this matchup, so next time will be Mount Lady, and subscribe to see that when I eventually make it. Later.